Welcome to another episode of Coffee and Beats. I'm your musical barista, Rod the Magnificent. I'm back. I know it's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a dope Coffee and Beats episode to step to. So I'm back with another episode, and this time I'm doing something a little bit different. We are in the middle of the year, ladies and gentlemen. Well, not quite. I'm a little late to the party, but it is top 10 time. TTT. What better way to do it than to do it here on Coffee and Beats? Yes, I am going to be going over my top 10 albums of 2023 so far. These albums will not be ranked. Of course, I do that at the end of the year, but when it comes to the mid-year, I'm just giving you some of the albums that have caught my attention, that has gotten the most burn. It's made me groove. Yeah. Now, before I get into what I need to get into, hit that subscribe button, hit the like, hit the follow button, make a comment, do everything you could possibly can to get involved in the Coffee and Beats discussion about these albums. So I want to hear from you. I see y'all viewing. You're viewing very heavily. The views on Instagram are crazy. YouTube, not so much, but we're not going to give up, right?
We're not going to give up. We not.
Go ahead, hit that like, subscribe, share with a loved one, because I'm sure they will all love to hear this. Now, before I get into my top 10, I just want to make a recommendation. And that recommendation is...
Yes, guys, I've grown up.
What is that, Rodney? You got grounds?
I'm sure you saw these at your local Target stores in your local area, and this is accompanied by this little specimen right here. Yes, I got a little disposable, well, it's not a disposable, but it's a K-cup, and I can put the grounds in this little K-cup, put it in my Craig, not Keurig, my Craig. You can attack me in the comment section, I don't care. Craig, you put this in the Craig, you put the grounds in there, coffee comes out, and you got a nice little cup there. Yes, I've graduated from the K-Cups. Don't mean that I'm not doing K-Cups anymore, and I'm technically am still doing K-Cups, just filling them up myself and just enhancing my coffee experience and not just giving you guys the same old. Before I get into the top 10, there are some honorable mentions that did not make the cut. You can check that down in the description box below. You'll see all those albums down there. So if you worry,
hey, why you include this album? Why you ain't include that album?
They'll be down below. And hey, who knows? Maybe they might wiggle their way into the top 25 at the end of the year. So you never know. Don't lose hope in the albums that are in the description box, because you never know. They might end up back in the top 10. But here are my top 10. And it starts with TRIBEZ. This is a band, a jam band that put together this nice, eclectic, instrumental album. It's called Redbird. I really love this album. If you are a fan of artists like Skin Shape or Kroonbin, I think you will get into this project. It's very groovy. You need something that's a little bit on the chill side, something to bump into the background. This is a perfect album for you. No skips on this one, man. I still got it heavy in the rotation, and if it stays there, hey, who knows where this album might land in my top 25, but I definitely like this one. I think you will too. Up next, we got Jessie, Ware. Project right here. Jessie, you just keep outdoing yourself with each and every album. I just had to give you eye contact on that one. You must listen to this project. Jessie Ware keeps batting 1,000, ladies and gentlemen. She has not dropped a whack album ever, not that I can think of. And here she is again. Is it better than What's Your Pleasure? I don't think so. I think, there were some, speed bumps in the album. But other than that, I enjoy this project. I still got some tracks in playlists. I played some of her songs on my DJ sets. I mean, Jessie Ware can't do no wrong in my book at this point. Up next, we got Kara Jackson. She still hasn't corrected me on this pronouncement of her name. I was waiting to hear back from her, but I'm sorry, Q. She never reached back if you're listening from the Cool Hand podcast. But hey, anyway, Kara Jackson, why does the earth give us people to love? This is a very, very smooth project as far as lyricism goes. I like how you're getting to know her on a personal level, some of her likes, some of her dislikes. Very good, crisp, solid production. I love the cleverness of the album. I love the comical aspect of the album. She throws a lot of jokes in there, but at the end of the day, she does have a serious undertone about her music that really reaches the heart. And I think this is a wonderful project to add to your discography that you have been listening to of late. So Kara Jackson, keep them coming. Up next, we got Madison Mcferrin. I hope you can forgive me. I really love this heartfelt project. You could tell is a very personal project for her. She shows some love to the channel, so shout out to Madison Mcferrin for showing love for Coffee and Beats. But that's not the reason why she's on my top 10. This is actually a really good album. It's a short listen, but she doesn't miss with each track. The production on here is very solid. It's very elegant. It was nice to see her collaborate with her father on one of the tracks. So if you haven't heard this project yet, please do yourself a favor and check this one out. Thanks again, Madison Mcferrin. Keep them coming. Up next, we got Masego with his second self-titled album, Masego, and man, what a way to start off the year. I mean, what better way to start off with a Masego project? Again, I reviewed this album with my boy J6 Man from YBSN. I really enjoyed this project. I still bump some of the tracks off this album. This has stayed in the rotation up until this point. He's had a big tour too. I mean, he had received a lot of love during his tour for this particular project, showing that not only that my 8.5 out of 10 recommendation or rating stands, but a lot of the fans agreed. They watched Coffee and Beats. They watched the episode with me and J6 Man, and they went, listened to this album, loved it, bought tickets to the concert. It's been a hit album ever since. A lot of people had their doubts about the album. Some people had doubts about it, but the majority have voted. They put their votes in, and they're saying that this Masego project is a hit. It is not a swing and miss. It is not a sophomore slump. I really enjoyed it. You will too. Up next, we got Jayda G with her second album, Guide. And I'm a huge Jayda G fan. I've been a huge fan of her since she would do Boiler Room sets back in the 2010s. And now here she is with her second project. And, you know, I've seen comments of people saying it sounds like mall music or whatever. I don't think so. This is great house music. She puts on a good vocal performance on most of these tracks, and it's just a nice, smooth house record to listen to all the way through. She even tapped in to some of the Knight Rider vibes. Like, some of the songs on here give me Chromatics vibes. Like, if Chromatics hit that house genre, that's how it would sound. It has a very only play this at night type feel to it, and with some of the songs. And I thought Jayda G outdid herself on this one. I think this one is better than her debut album. If you haven't heard this project, please give it a shot. I think you will enjoy it. Up next, we got Lucas the Mulder with Feel the Spirit. And again, similar to TRIBEZ, Redbird, I think this album is an excellent listen. Good jam band music. If you're into the jam band stuff, this is the perfect one for you. I love the cover of Childish Gambino's Redbone French Kiss. I don't know if this project is going to stay heavy in the top 10. However, even though I still love it, it did kind of wane a little bit towards right now, where I haven't really been bumping this that much. But I did have it in my list, and I did rate it pretty high, so I felt a need to include this album. This is a good release by Lucas the Mulder, and I'm looking forward to hearing more from him soon. Up next, we got Good Vibes Bad Vibes, Roy Ayers, Oh No, producer, Oh No. Oh No came out with an instrumental project earlier in the year called Good Vibes, but then he collaborated some Roy Ayers sounds and made it Good Vibes and Bad Vibes. And man, this album was a treat. If you're into the instrumental hip hop, if you're into Roy Ayers, if you're a huge Roy Ayers fan, this is the perfect project for you. You're going to be nodding your head all through this one, just like I am. Still am to this day. I really think this album is buttery smooth. Up next, we got Baby Rose with her project, her album, Through and Through. This is her second album, and I really enjoyed this one as well. Some of the feedback that I got from my original review of the album was, oh, I can't take her voice. Oh, her voice is so deep, and it's this and it's that. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I agree. Her voice can be an acquired taste for some people who are more casual listeners. If you're a music head, if you appreciate the art, if you appreciate good, solid production being placed behind the voice, you'll open your heart to it and watch some of her videos for some of these songs. I think it will cause you to have a change of heart towards her music, and also listen to her story too. I thought her story was pretty good, and how she naturally has a deep voice, and she's had it since she was in school, and she used to get teased for it until she performed at a talent show where she just blew everybody away and ended up winning the talent show because of her singing. Well, if you are a fan of Nina Simone and you criticize her voice, to me, that's kind of contradicting. I think this is one of my favorite projects of the year. I gave it a high score. I went back and listened to it again, and I'm staying by that high score. I still love this project, and I think you will too if you haven't heard it yet. And last but not least, we have this gem of an album right here, Surprise Chef. Now, this is the only EP that is on my top 10. And usually EPs don't crack the surface when it comes to coffee and beats, but this one right here, oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this album is front to back brilliant. If you're into groups like Bad Bad Not Good, I think you will really enjoy this project. Surprise Chef. This album hits you with crisp production, crisp drum play. The guitar work is sizzling. The bass. Oh my goodness. I mean, this EP is definitely by far one of my favorite EPs I've heard in a long time. I listen to a lot of EPs. I love the short listens. I think you will enjoy it. Give it a shot, and then talk to me in the chat. Let me know how you feel. I mean, I promise you, you won't regret it. That's my top 10, guys. I'm sticking to it. Those are my top 10. Top 10 albums of 2023 so far. Hope you appreciate it. I got more episodes coming up in the future. I got future reviews coming up. I have reviewed a few albums that I'm going to get into with my next episode. But until then, I am your musical barista, Rod the Magnificent. And when it comes to coffee, when it comes to music, stay grounded for life. I will see you on the next one. Peace.